What's happening? Joe's Picks here with some more free daily leans and picks. Had another free pick winner last night to push our run to 7-3, and to start off the week 3-0. We had a nice win by the Phoenix Suns, in which we took them at -2.5, and they absolutely dominated the Pelicans. They ended up winning by 25 in that one, and we're up at least 40 points at some point in that game. The Suns were just all over them to give us a nice win. So for today, our free leans and picks for this Wednesday, December 30th. At the bottom of the screen, you can see we are taking the Lakers tonight at -5 over the Spurs. That will be our free pick. Have some leans for you today. Our lean, we're leaning with the Celtics at -5. And then we have a small lean of the Bucks and Heat under 228. And we also have a small lean on the Hornets and Mavericks game, in which we are leaning for the over in that game, and what should be an interesting matchup to say the least. All right, before we get into our free pick, we're going to talk about our three leans. And our first lean for today is we are leaning with the Boston Celtics covering the spread at -5 against the Grizzlies. And the number one reason for this is there is no Ja Morant, as he is obviously going to be out for around 3 to 5 weeks with that pretty bad sprained ankle. And, clearly Ja Morant is their best player and their best scorer. And also, not to mention, Jaren Jackson is still out with injury. So no Ja Morant, no Jaren Jackson. Going to be a tough one here. And the Celtics have also played better. They actually won last night, beat a tough Pacers team, 116 to 111, to bring their record back to even at 2-2. And their defense, which actually struggled their first two games, has actually looked a little bit better in their last two, and especially last night. And their team looked better overall as well. Another thing is this Grizzlies defense is not very good. They haven't been able to stop opponents this year, as they are allowing 121 points per game through their first three. And combine that with their top scorer missing, should prove for a tough matchup tonight against the Celtics, who look to improve their record to 3-2. And our second lean of the night, we are leaning towards the under in the Bucks vs Heat game. We are leaning towards the under at 228 in this one. And this is a rematch of the blowout game that happened last night between the Bucks and the Heat, in which the Bucks won 144 to 97. Obviously, in order to score 144 points in 4 quarters, you have to be extremely efficient, which is pretty tough to repeat, especially on back-to-back nights early in the season. And for the Heat, there's no Jimmy Butler in this one, just like last night. He missed last night's game as well, as he is tending to an injury. And the Heat tend to struggle offensively, as Jimmy Butler is one of their playmakers. So when he's out, the Heat tend to struggle a little bit on their offense. And especially with this being a back-to-back early in the season, we can see this game getting off to kind of a sluggish start, especially since the game was such a blowout last night. So that's for those reasons, we have a small lean on the Bucks vs Heat under for tonight. And our third lean of the night will also be a small lean, in which we are taking the over 225 total points in the Hornets and Mavs game tonight, which starts at 8:30. The Hornets are coming off a big win in which they beat the Nets at 106 to 104, and the Mavs are also coming off a very big win in which they beat the Clippers 124 to 73. They also were leading that game at halftime by 50 points. And this one is going to be an interesting game, as it has the makings of a shootout. Both teams are coming off really good wins. They're going to be feeling very confident in this one. I could see lots of shots going up, lots of passing, great offense in this one. And on the Mavericks side, the Mavericks are known for their great scoring, but are not known for defense, that's for sure. So I could see the Mavs and the Hornets putting up some score here. I could even possibly see in this game going into overtime, but there should be a lot of points in this one. So for those reasons, we have our lean on the over in this game. In our free pick of today, we are picking the Los Angeles Lakers at -5 on the road against the Spurs. The Lakers are coming off their last game after blowing a lead against Portland and losing that one. They were actually up by 9 partway through the third quarter and took a lead into the fourth before losing to the Trailblazers 115 to 107. And I mean, it's no surprise in this one. The Lakers are clearly the better team here. Like I said, it's really no surprise. And the Spurs are coming off a loss in which they shot 11 for 36 from three and only scored 95 points against the young Pelicans. And the question that's everyone wondering is LeBron playing? Well, he was a game time decision in their last two games, and he played very well. Even in this one, if LeBron does decide to sit out or the Lakers do decide to hold out LeBron, I can still see the Lakers covering the spread here at -5 pretty easily. We think this one's going to end up being probably not a blowout win, but we could see the Lakers pulling away in the second half as the Spurs have been struggling to score a little bit, or struggled in their last game actually. But yep, so that's our free pick. We are picking the Lakers at -5. And those are our free daily leans and picks for today from Joe's Picks. We are looking to extend our run to 8-3 tonight and try to push our start to this week to 4-0. This would be a huge win. For more of my strongest picks, best plays, and more, head over to joesleansandpicks.com, and we'll see you.